Hey everybody, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. So today I want to talk about Earth Day, and I kind of got a sobering message, I guess. You know, it's not all roses and sunshine, so to speak. Let me take you over here and let me kind of show you what the problem is. Okay, so if you look behind me, right back there, that used to be 4 acres. I'm sorry, almost 5 acres of woods right there. And you know, late at night we'd hear owls hooting. And we had a lot of hawks that would come over here. And had a lot of wildlife back in there, snakes and you know, possums, and we had wild turkeys back there at one point. Well, now as you can see, they've taken all the trees down, and now they're going to put in 12 to 15 houses. And you know, if you look over here, look across the pond, all those are brand new houses. All right, they've all been built within the last 3 years. And if our population is staying the same, I don't understand why we need so many houses. I mean, our population is still right around 350 million people in the United States. And I understand a lot of people want to come to Florida, but still, why do we need all these houses? You know, when I bought this house, it had been built in 1999. And it should be good until long after I'm gone. I plan on leaving it for my kids, and they'll inherit it. And, to keep this from happening, you know, 5 acres of wood destroyed so that we can have more houses. So I mean, you know, it's actually better in my opinion to buy an old house. You know, like my daughter lives in a house built in the 50s or 40s, something like that. Still good. I mean, it got rehabbed a bit, but it's still good. It still works. It's still sheltered. It still has heat and air conditioning and all the things that you need in a house, at least down here in Florida. But we keep building more. We keep tearing out woods, taking away the, you know, the things that are keeping us alive. Because I mean, trees produce oxygen. They take carbon dioxide out of the air and turn it into oxygen, as well as other fine materials. All right, so what can we do? Well, I guess I just won't live in a house anymore. No, that's not what I'm getting at. Let me show you what you can do if you have the ability to do so. All right, so some of the things you can do. All right, grow a garden. Like you can grow potatoes in your garden, if nothing else, and they grow pretty well. I mean, I know that there are potato farms down here in Florida. Most of our potatoes come from Idaho. Idaho is 2,500 miles away. Now, I know potatoes don't take up a lot of resources. They're really easy to grow and all that, but they got shipped 2,500 miles to get here. So if I eat, you know, several hundred pounds of potatoes every year, I could save several hundred pounds of shipment and gas to bring them potatoes down here by growing them in my own garden. And that's with everything. I got onions back here. A lot of our onions come from Chile. I mean, I don't even know how far that is. That's a long ways. Some of them come from up in Georgia, don't get me wrong. But if I grow them here, they don't have to get shipped at all. I just go out here, when I want an onion, I pull an onion up, and boom, we got an onion. So growing a garden is one thing. Another thing is, if you look right here, I have trees. This is a fig tree. Alright, so I got figs growing here. This is a goji berry. I got a berry bush up underneath the fig tree. If you look right over there, I've got banana plants that are growing. I got to cut back the old. Alright, grow yourself some trees. Now, you know, you can get the native trees, and I highly recommend it because native trees take less maintenance. But I think that people will grow them more if they're a productive tree, something that will do something for you, like growing fruit. I can come out here pretty much from midsummer all the way until when it freezes and pick fresh figs off of this tree and be munching on figs. You can't even really buy figs because they rot quick. But I've got free figs anytime I want them. And every one of these leaves is mostly made up of carbon that is sucked up out of the soil, and that takes that sunlight, keeps it from heating up the ground up underneath there, cools off that area, which if we all do a little bit, it'll help cool the planet. I've got so many fruit trees. I got a lemon tree there. I got a pomegranate, which is actually starting to grow pomegranates, which is fantastic. Let me show you some of these over here. I've got a plum tree here, which if you look right there, it's a pretty little plum just fixing to get ripe here pretty soon. See the red one right there? Yeah, that one's looking good. Got another plum tree behind me. I got loquat trees, Mexican sunflower. I've got, let's see what else I got. Olive trees. I've got apple trees. Oh, let me show you my orange tree. And this is my orange tree right here. And you can look, man, there's oranges here Well, here, there, there, and man, they're good sweet oranges too. We had 2 of them last year is all we had. Hopefully most of these will stay and I'll have oranges. And then if you look behind over here, I have this really cool peach tree. Man, look at this peach tree. This thing is so loaded they're falling off, and the branches are like getting way down. I had to tie it up, and still it's bending down. Look at all them peaches. And all of that's for free. All I did was plant a tree and I get peaches every year. Don't really have to do nothing. I don't fertilize any of this. I may throw down some compost. Speaking of compost, let's go talk about that. And this is my composting facility. I mean, composting is fantastic. Basically, I just take stuff that would have either just stayed on the yard, or have been thrown away in the trash or gone down to garbage disposal or what have you. All of that now gets turned into fantastic compost, which is great for fertilizer. I don't use fertilizer of any sort. I don't kill bugs, I don't do nothing. I just use my compost. And it does a fantastic job of helping things grow, making them healthier, better plants. And then behind that, what you see, we had to pause there for a minute because an airplane flew over. You know, people flying everywhere, that definitely isn't helping anything. And that was a private jet of all things. But anyway, if you look behind me, you see I've got trees. These are all just wild trees that grew up and we let them grow. All along the border, there's a pond right behind me. All along the border of that pond, I have this barrier of trees which helps keep the wind down. But it also gives habitat for all kind of birds and animals and such. You know, it's not as wide as I would like it to be, and I may extend it out somewhat in the near future. But it's a wild area. All right, and that's how we qualify as a nature preserve, because I have this wild area and we grow fruit and such for the bees and the birds and all of that. And we have habitat areas where the habitat, you know, the natural habitat can come in here and hide out, survive, raise their babies, and so on. Now, not all of that's good stuff. I mean, I probably have some rats in here. I don't know. I have never seen rats in my compost, so I got to say that. Because that's one of the things, oh, I'll get rats from my compost. Yeah, really, is that a problem? As long as they're not in your house. They're eating your compost or leaving feces, and feces rots down into fantastic compost. So, make rat poop, by all means. But anyway, so, and I know, you know, I've got a big lot. I've got a lot of space. You know, I bought this house with that in mind. I bought it because it has a septic tank, so I'm not pumping all my sewage into a sewage system somewhere where it has to get processed. It gets taken care of there in the septic tank. And I also pee outside. I mean, you can't really see it, but back in behind there's a nice little spot where I've got a little clearing cut out in the trees where I can go pee and not have to flush it down the toilet and waste water and resources that way. You know, one of the best things you can do if you want to try and help save the planet, go pee on a tree. Next best thing is probably, you know, grow some trees. You know, if that area back there that's gotten knocked down, if it just turns into houses and lawns, then man, we've lost a lot of oxygen producing capability, a lot of cooling capability. But if everybody back there decides to plant a ton of trees, then it won't be nearly as bad. I mean, it's still going to suck because that's still, you know, not nature. But at least then you'll have some sort of, you know, carbon dioxide scrubbing machine going on over in that area where we've just lost all of that carbon dioxide scrubbing that was being done by those trees that were there and that forest that was there. So it's Earth Day, you know, and it's like, oh man, you're such a downer today. I'm really not. I mean, I'm very pleased with what I've done, and I think my message really is that, you know, you too, you can do things that can help. All right, maybe you can't fix it. Obviously, I can't fix it. I can't fix the environment. I can't fix the United States. I can't, you know, convince everybody to start doing that, though I'm trying to do my little part by making these videos. But I can help to fix it. I can add a little bit, and every little bit that I add helps a little bit. 350 million people in the United States, if every one of us does a little bit of something, the results could be amazing. You all have heard about crowdfunding and all of that and how well that works out. How when you pool your resources together you can do fantastic things. Well, it's kind of the same thing with the environment. If everybody does a little bit. And I know that, you know, the big solution right now from big government is buy an electric car, buy an electric car. We're going to make sure that 50% of all cars, or 90, I don't know, whatever the percentage is, that are made from this point forward will be electric. Yeah, okay, that's fine, but you know what? That means I got to go out and buy a new car, which means my old car's got to go into the junk, which means that all that resources that made that car has to be, you know, is wasted, and then all of that stuff that's in that car has to be disposed of. I think it'd be far better if you do like I do. I've got a 2006 Mustang. That's one of my cars. All right, that car's been around 17 years. All right, and it'll last for another 10 or 20 maybe, and that'll be one of my primary modes of transportation. The other key is just not to drive as much, but you know, that's not doable for everybody. I understand that. But you can do a little bit, and if we all do a little bit, a lot can get done. And that, I think, is what I want you to take away from this message. Plant a tree, plant a bush, plant something that produces food for you. Grow a garden. Do things that keep your food, some of your food, I guess, production local. Keeps it right here within your yard so that when you want it, you just go out and get it. And you don't have to rely upon somebody shipping it to you. You don't have to go pay money for it and all of that. I mean, it's just so much better. Particularly, like I said, with the fruit trees, because not only do you get fruit, but you get this very large, very massive tree that actually produces fruit for you, but also produces oxygen for everybody. Alright, so Earth Day. Take care of the Earth. Alright, we only get the one. This big ball flying through space. It's our spaceship, our planet. Alright, so we got to do what we can to help out. So please, do something. Do a little bit. On this Earth Day, give it some thought, see what you can do, and even if it's just planting one tree, just one tree. If every viewer that watches my videos, alright, and I usually get about 250, 300 maybe, people who watch the video, but if you'll just plant a tree, that'll be 350 carbon dioxide scrubbing machines that are put back into the environment where so many have been removed. Alright, give it some thought. Do me a favor, give me a like and a subscribe if you like the video. Even if you don't, I still would appreciate the like and subscribe, but give me comments if you don't, or even if you do, you know, let me know what you think. There are a lot of different ideas of ways that you can go about trying to help out. They're all online. There's just, you know, a ton of them, but I think the biggest thing is let's get some green back in the ground. Let's get some trees growing again, and I think it'll do very well for y'all. And that's part of something I always end everything with, and that's grow something. Grow something that'll feed you. Grow something that'll feed the earth, and you'll be a much happy camper. Alright, thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor, like I said, give me that like and subscribe. Otherwise, y'all come back and see me.